morning everyone. I know I've not been on YouTube lately. Far too many problems as usual. I don't live a normal life, you have to remember that, so far from normal. Anyway, currently still in Hungary. It's 4 o'clock in the morning and I'm heading to my other house to cut the weeds down. They're 6 foot, some are over 6 foot. So you're looking about up to 2 metres. Got to cut the whole field down at the back. I've not been in the mood. Last time I did it, I went down there. The neighbour turned up when I was there, and he said he'd cut the front for me, cut a lot of the front down for me, which he did. But I've got that's only half the front garden, so I've got to get the other half of the front garden done. But I've got to do all the field. It's going to take me a day, so it's Saturday morning, meaning your Saturday morning, because this video is I'm going to post it tonight. So it's I'm either posting it tonight or Sunday. I'll probably post it Sunday, but it's the Saturday, your Saturday, this Saturday. What is it? I don't know what it is now. I've lost track. What is it? 25th. I don't know what, 24th, innit? So, this is probably, they said the forecast rain for tomorrow. So they've had quite dry weather the last few days. So I've been putting it off now for weeks now to go down there. I've got to get it done. So, the only thing I can do with the house, get all the weeds, everything cut down. I've got to get a container eventually. I don't even know whether I'll bother with a container this winter now. I think I'll wait till spring, and then I'll tidy up the old garden, because I'm paying full price of fuel. I am, for my car, because I've got a British car. Because my car's British, I'm paying full whack price fuel. Expensive. I'm paying full whack, whereas everybody else is paying half. Because what they're doing is, any registered, even Hungarian registered cars, they want to look at the logbook. I mean, it's ridiculous. Clearly, if the car's Hungarian, they want what it is. They want to make sure that the person is as well living in Hungary. And what they do then, they put the cashier electronic thing, what does your money, they ping it to say, yeah, that it's legit. I've never heard it like it, but they're stopping all the foreign cars coming in from Austria and wherever else coming into Hungary to fill up cheap. So when you go fill up in an Hungarian car, you've got to, they're going to ask you, if you're used to it, you'll take your logbook in and they'll do your logbook at the same time. So, but I'm in my car anyway, so I'm going to the house. 400 kilometres. Yeah, it's nothing when you're driving back to England, but it's still a lot of mileage to go backwards and forwards all the time. So anyway, you can't see me, so I'm gonna turn the camera off. And I'll speak to you in a bit when it's daylight. See you soon. I'm only putting the normal diesel in, because the Evo Plus is too expensive, because I'm paying full whack. So I put the normal diesel in. I wouldn't normally, but I am at the moment. So 750 foreign a litre. So it's about £1.80. So see how many, 42 litres, 43, so many litres. I reckon I think I'll probably put about 70, I don't know. Oh, we've got a cut-off point. 49 litres is maximum. Not allowed to put any more in. So 50 litres, 40, probably 40 litres. Or 49, 37. Yeah, look, 37,485. Gave me just over half a tank of fuel. Getting back on the motorway now. We're on the M6. Not the M6 as in England. M6. No, we're not that daft, are we? No. M6 in Hungary. Going towards Tolna. That's where we need to be. Sexard. Such a shame really, because you know what, this area is a lot better than the other area. It just is that, in all honesty, the more I've been thinking about it and the way the time's going on and the age of the dogs and what I know there now, what's happening there, I don't know whether my dogs would be happy, and also moving them to there and the neighbours and everything, even though they're not as close as by like this house where I am in Mezzachart. I've got a feeling they don't want me, don't want me to I don't think they want me to set the dogs there. I don't think the neighbours want the dogs, the amount of dogs I've got, and because they're German Shepherds, I don't think they want them there because the neighbours got pigs. And everybody over here, they're scared of dogs. They really got this. But what they don't understand is my dogs aren't like... They're like dogs in England, if you know what I mean. I've got love for my dogs. Whereas in Hungary, they don't have love for dogs. There's only a majority. There is some of you, Magyar Ember, Senator Alat. There's Von. But there's Nem Rengete, there's Nem Shock. Kevesh. There's Nem Shock Ember. They're not edge form to Ongle Ember most. They're not Artul with Selatema Alat. It's the not problem. So I don't know whether talking English again now, I don't know whether that I'm better off just staying where I am, sell this house, just get rid of it. Because I put the fencing in the garden, in the land. Nobody. Yes, we would do that in England. Or especially if you've got dogs like mine, you'd have to do it. If you want your dogs to have freedom and to play where you haven't got to watch them, you'd have to do it. I had no problem with that. I would do it in England. I don't even like discussing all this really, because all I'm going to say is my dogs are 6 this year, and the other one, the 2 in the house, and the dogs at the back, they're 4. So they're 4. The 2 in the house are 4 years old in October. The ones at the back, what are the puppies to the mum and dad at the front? They're 4 in December. And obviously the mum and dad, because I waited till they were 2 years old before they mated, so they're 6 years old this year. So, well, next, yeah, they're 6. I think they already are 6. They are. I've got all the proper births, the time when they were born. I've got all the books. It's all in the books. Every single dog. I've got the exact date, the time, everything when they was all born. When I got everything. I've proper looked after my dogs, and I've got proper paperwork. They've not been dragged up basically. So I've got to seriously be thinking that in the future, where would I be? Would I be in Hungary or would I be in England? But I think I've got to be realistic with myself. Do I want to retire here? Do I? I'm not happy now. I'm just not happy. I don't like the sense of humour here. What it is, I've had Hungary's never been drilled into me, by the way. My dad was never one of them people to learn Hungarian myself. The only thing what he did like to come to Hungary for an holiday because his family was here, especially in the early days when his mum and dad was alive, because he felt he had to. But he always said if it wasn't for his mum and dad and his sister, he would never ever step foot back in Hungary, because to him it's always bad memories escaping from Hungary. So he came back, but unfortunately his parents died before him, which is pretty normal. Not in everybody's circumstances. But later on, he died then before his sister. So he only had one sister, my dad did. So I've only got one auntie. But he had quite a few cousins. Quite a lot of cousins, believe it or not. So, and they'd been scattered around the country. Not all in the same area where his family were from, in Mezzachart. But obviously you've got my granddad, my grandma and granddad, obviously they had family, you see. They've got brothers and sisters as well. So that's another thing. So they've got brothers and sisters as well. Anyway. So no, I don't think I want to retire here. I don't know how long I'm going to live for. The amount of stress I'm under, I don't know. I'll be honest with you now, I'm talking really calm now, but I've never been so stressed in I've never been so stressed and ill that I have been living here than I've ever been in my whole life, and that is the truth. And the main reason for it is, it's everything about living in Hungary I can't cope with. And this is what I'm trying to say to you. It's not a new place for me. It's not like you, a pure British man or pure American or Indian man or whatever country you're from. It's not like you going to a new destination where you've only visited a couple of times on your holiday or whatever. You thought, I'm going to live there because it looks nice. I've come here since I was 3 months old. So I know the country inside out. But what I don't know, which I've always admitted to, the longest we used to spend here in the early days, we used to come for 6 weeks. And then eventually, with my dad's job and my mum working, and my dad's job, because things changed over the years, he couldn't have 6 weeks off and my mum couldn't. And then we had to drop it to 4 weeks. And, my mum wanted to leave me in Hungary because as a child, I wanted to stay in Hungary as a child. But Dad wouldn't let me. Mum said, no, he's bloody bleeding staying there. He says, he's coming back to England, he's from England. He's not living in Hungary. And my dad refused. My mum told me, Mummy, I can't stay in Hungary. And my mum wanted me to learn the language and everything as a full learning proper as a child. My dad basically didn't have no interest. All he was interested in, my dad, was visiting his family and getting pissed out his head and having his cigarettes. That was it. And working like a twat. Not going to say like a twat, but he worked hard, my dad did. Spent all his time just working. He walked here, and I'm going to say it's not just my dad, it's the Hungarian mentality. So one thing I will say about Hungarians, they're not whimper. That's one thing I will say. One thing I am going to admit, they are not whimper. And they'll work. But I'm not going to say everybody. Even some Hungarians, not all of them. Some of them, we do have them in England anyway. We have right loads of dossers in England, don't we? Yeah, you dossers in England, you're letting the country down. Right, listen. You want to have a life, you go to work, you graft, you earn your money, you get a good living. Don't live off the state. Don't live off the state, right? If you're generally ill, I can understand that, right? or if you've generally been working and you have a baby, but please stop taking the piss out of the country, right? Because it's you people, right? You're making yourself look idiots. Look at the farmers now in England. Now all the Europeans have come back to Hungary, Polish, Lengyországember, Ukrainember, Italian, Alasorsagember, name it, Germany, Slovakia, all these people, Romania, all these people, right, who worked in the field, the ones who grafted in the field because they don't mind doing vegetable picking or fruit picking. You British people, not all of you, the ones who this is what I don't get, I'm not about the ones who work, I'm on about the ones who don't work, who don't want to do any job. They can't get British people, you know it's been on the news, hasn't it? Farmers cannot get British people to stand the job in the field like the Europeans. The Europeans aren't bothered about the cold. They will go outside in a wet field, right? This time of year now, come September, October, they'll work. They don't care. They don't care about pissing it down the rain. They will work. The British people, they won't. You can't get anybody. That's why when I used to be lorry driving, I used to go Lincolnshire, Norfolk, Suffolk, everywhere. Everybody who worked, I used to go to companies for forklifts, right? Toyota forklifts. Everybody, and my Toyota drivers will vouch for this, and lorry drivers who go to farms. The people, majority, I would say 80% are all East European, working in the fields, or was, not now, was. There still will be some now who stayed, and maybe they've got British passports now, I don't know, I can't say, because I don't know what's happening with Brexit and what's happening with people in England. But clearly, if you want to work and live in a country, you've got to nationalise yourself, haven't you? You've got to be a citizen. But no, and it's them type of things what irritate me. I can't stand labour. It's like me. I've come to the house. I can't start doing any work at the house because it's the weekend here. It is, people do it, work at weekends, especially in summer. They'll start at 6 o'clock. But the actual law is 7 o'clock in summer, I think. I don't know. In fact, don't quote me on that. I think it's 7 o'clock, but I don't know. I've read some areas, especially near the Bolleton, where people have been going for holidays. It says 8, 9 o'clock at a Saturday. I think it's a Saturday. Yeah, that's right. Saturday, it's 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. I think that applies to everywhere. But I think Monday to Friday, I think it's 7 o'clock's fine. But people start working somewhere at 6 o'clock because it's lovely weather, and because it's so hot in the afternoon, it goes to over 40 degrees. People don't want to be working outside, so what they do, they start earlier, an hour or two earlier, so the companies finish them earlier, like council workers who do the streets. I've got my scruff clothes on. I know I've got these on again. Listen, it's because I'm going to the house and I'll be taking these off, and I've got some really scruffy clothes, what I've been doing the dogs with. I'm going to stick them on, and I've got like CSI white overalls. You know them one proper CSI ones, got some cheap ones. My girlfriend picked them up for me, because when I do the brush cutter, the big petrol strimmer, 2-stroke strimmer, because especially if it's damp, it's going to fly everywhere. I've got goggles and I've got some earplugs. I'm not going to wear a mask. The reason why I'm not wearing a mask is because the weeds will be wet, damp, so I won't get the pollen and dust. But if I was doing this in summer, I'd wear a mask, because I do not know what weeds are in that garden, what are toxic and what aren't in that, well, not the garden, the field. So I'm not going to put a mask on, but I'm going to put goggles on, and I've got some rubber earplugs type things, whatever they're made out of, spongy things. So yeah, so I can't really see myself retiring here now for some reason. I really don't know where the future is for me at the minute, because my head's all over the place at the best of times. unless I'm concentrating on something. You know, when I was lorry driving, you know, my head was on the job, and I think that's what I miss now, because going back on my life, I was so obsessed with hungry, I couldn't get hungry out of my head. But what I've done, I would have been better off, well, I couldn't say to work, because you've got to live here. You've got to live here for a long time. You've got to live here for at least a few years. I mean, I've been here really since 2016. Yeah, I was going backwards and forwards, but as when the ducks got separated, after around a couple of years ago, it's been the last 2 years where my life's been difficult. But before then, I would go to England for 3 months, probably come back here, go back 3 months, and that's how I would work it. It gave me a break in England, you know, when things were getting a bit stressful in England, you know, when I was probably getting into fights. Yeah, I always get into fights. Trouble follows me, and the reason why is for that is because I don't tolerate shit. I've come to the conclusion, that is my problem. It's not me, I'm a bad egg. I don't tolerate shit. So, and with finishing work, when I was coming back to England, obviously because you're not at work, I didn't get problems at work, like when I was driving. You know, but when you're in your own car and you're going up and down and driving around, and you do it every day and you're not at work or whatever, you know, like when I'm coming back for 3 months, that's where you start to get problems, you see, because you're going to bang into people. You know, maybe if I didn't go out every day, maybe if I probably stayed in the house, but what do? Stay in the house and be an hermit? Because society is so shit that you have to worry that you're going to bang into a bad egg on the street. I'm not that person. You know, I hate talking about stuff like this, but we're in reality now. We're in a worse situation now. This kid's being stabbed. Be nice if the motorways were like this in England, though, wouldn't it? Eh? What time is it? 10 to 7. 10 to 7 in the morning. I better get something to eat, Anna. Can't work on an empty stomach. Let's go and get something to eat. So I got this free, Pro Plus Power. There are different flavours. So I've got a Zerd Alma, which is green apple, Georgia Nervania kale. So what it is, it's like a vitamin drink. It's probably loaded with sugar. I can't even read it. All I can see is this big writing here. B3 vitamins, B6, B5, B9, C. You know, they say it's like a sports drink, obviously, for your brain power and everything. So it's probably going to make me cut the grass better, innit? I don't know. I got it for free anyway. Said I can have it for free. So that was Oxio, niche pains. Got myself a little latte. Well, did ask for a large, but I got a little one. I don't know. Latte. Got a little biscuit. And 2 hot dogs. Got one free. So it's cheapish, which I like. It's 7 o'clock. Just about right time. Get to the house. Change me. Wait a minute. Put that in there. Right. A bit of gristle. Not always got gristle. Bit of gristle in that. This is like a Colbass hot dog. I'm hungry, I've got to eat some, haven't I? I've got to eat before I work. It's going to make me tired. So what I'm going to do, if I can get to the house about right, start work about 8 o'clock hopefully. Get in the field, obviously it won't upset people. I imagine it's going to be very, very quiet. Right, let's get onto the motorway. I imagine it's going to be a lunch. Just turn the tips around a minute, 1 minute. Why would you just go out of here? Don't normally see that, do you? Where you can go back to the pumps. You can actually drive back right. Well, you can actually drive back to the pumps here. So I'm on my way up. But it's got you can actually turn right and go back to the pumps. Pretty good, that is. For lorry drivers who's obviously parked up the night. So from about here you can turn right, and probably here you can turn right as well if you wanted. So pretty good for lorry drivers, really. If you know you don't want to put fuel in overnight or next day or whatever. I ain't got time because of the hours. Something I don't really see in England where you can actually drive back to the fuel pump. Anyway, let's get back on motorway. Right, so yeah, so I've got my hot dog. It's 7 o'clock now. So if I get to the house, get these clothes off, get my working ones on, get my Smurf outfit on, my wash white, you know, my CSI, get my glasses on and start cutting the grass. Weeds. By the way, a complete and utter jungle. It looks disgusting. That's why I've got to do it, because I'll get fined. Got to be done. I know it's in the field, and then what really in summer needs cutting every month. You know, this car, absolutely brilliant, honestly, fantastic car. I've had this since 2014, you know, never, ever let me down. See me, excuse me, I'm going to come off here, anyway, come off here. Coming off the motorway now. Just gonna say. No, it's been a brilliant car. I've had some parts replaced. But some of the parts I've replaced, it's not that the car's broke down on me. They have been sort of, you can expect with age of a car that things happen. It's like, I mean, it's done, what mileage am I on now? 1 minute. Right now, It's on 182,955 mile. Fantastic. Right, it's one of them cars, right, what I never want to get rid of, because it's worth more to me than me selling it on to somebody else. Because I know the car, I've driven it so long, I don't drive like a maniac, it gets looked after. It's like when the diff seal were leaking, it was what they call sweating oil. That means it's not dripping oil, it's just sweating a little bit. Got the diff seals done, just got it done. You know, things like that. I just get it done. So it's had all diff seal, the diff seal's been done on it. Anything what needs doing, I just get it done. Brakes. So if they said to me the brakes are slightly worn, or the front or back, they're getting worn a little bit now, but they say you've got so and so, get it done. I want new ones on it. I don't want to be driving up and down the motorway across Europe. You see, it's because I drive across Europe, it's a bit different when you're knocking around in your local town. You see, here it's expensive, double the price for me to service my car here. Right? I won't do it again. I'll make sure that I come to England and get it done all the time. But because if you're in your local town, I'm not saying that if your brakes are slightly worn, if your brakes work, they work. But if they're not bad, then you can get away with it. Then get them done at whatever date. You know, if you're just potching around your local town. But me, you got to remember your brakes are very, very important. I'm one of these. I like my brakes. Same with tyres. I like my brakes to be really knowing that they're good. I don't want to think that, well, if I have to brake hard on the motorway, or they're going to give up on me. That's what you have to think of. So I have all new brake spot on the car. Same with tyres. And I'm going to be definitely going to get new, just past its MOT. I knew the tyres were fine for the MOT, but when I get back to England, they have a brand new tyre spot on the back. Because I don't like to go below 3mm, because that's me. I'm not you. You do what you want to do. If you want to run your tyres down to 1.6 mil, you run your tyres to 1.6 mil. But obviously, you know, like you keep down to 1.6 mil. But here, me, because I'm driving all the time on motorways, I do a lot of fast speeds, or whatever, just driving fast in general. 80 mile an hour is fast enough. I want my tyres to be working adequate, and so to me, my eyes, 3mm, I want to put them in the dustbin. I don't want tyres after 3mm. If I dropped a bollock and they were just below, but I don't. You know, if you've got a problem with your tyres, you know, you don't know there's something wrong with them. But I mean, I check my tyres quite regular. The lorry driver incentive, you see, it's very normal when you're a lorry driver. Is your daily checks, your morning check, your nighttime check. The reason why I check the tyres at night, you've checked them in the morning, you've checked them the other day. You don't know whether somebody done a heavy skid on the tyres, or knackered them up, or there could be a defect with it. You don't know whether you've got some metal in your tyres or something wrong with it, or you've got a big brick you might have a brick in your stone in your tyre. I mean, like when I used to do landfill sites, I've seen half a brick in some of these tyre treads, you know. I tell you, it's all sorts. You have to be so careful. So, morning, check the tyres. Nighttime, check the tyres. Could be a bit of a defect when you pull back in the yard at night. You don't know. I'm having to do all my videos on my own. Look, I've got no cameraman, nothing. I'm having to laugh. I'm laughing to myself like a fucking nut job. Everything I have to do on my own. Like cutting a bloody farmer's field on my own. Saying that, farmer boy, next door neighbour, at least the sun's out, 1 minute. Farmer boy next door he's gonna see my car and he's gonna pull up and ask me what I'm doing. Then he's gonna say to me, "Oh, this sauce is really spicy. I've had hot sauce." He's gonna say, "Can't be cutting the field without. You need a tractor." Everybody's told me you need a tractor. You do need a tractor, but it costs money, doesn't it? I'm sick of spending money. I'm sick of giving £100 out. I'm sick of giving £200 out. I'm sick of giving £300 out. I'm sick of throwing money away all the time. It's gonna kill me doing this today. Really is. Oh, I'll tell you what, that is a nice coffee. Piazza d'Oro. Oh. Tell you what, I love it when it's all wrote in English. Close your eyes, open your mind, enjoy. Yeah. I'll try and do that tonight. I don't get much enjoyment though when you keep thinking that you want to put rope round your neck. Anyway, anybody know what that little yellow thing is on my wiper blade? See it? Just there. That little yellow thing. You know what that is? I'll tell you what it is. It's a sensor what wears out. Tell me when my wiper blades are worn out. Ah, you see. Didn't know that, did you? Yep. Sure is. Very good. Mind you, this whole car's very good. Look, there's my machine in the back. Great when you've got a big car. Who needs a van? Who needs a 4x4? Well, 4x4 coming under. Don't mind the 4-wheel drive business, but everything else. Loads of room. Why do I need a caravan? I can sleep in the car. Anyway, nearly there anyway now. See you soon. So glad the weather's nice. It's going to rain tomorrow, so this could be the last day. Lovely. These thermal, what the fuck? No, they've got XL. Look, I'm going on fucking snow patrol. Oh, look at that. At least they go around the Wellingtons. from the English life. Not like being living in England. You know. Look around, come. Is it XL, by the way? I feel like I work in a meat factory. Well, you look a cunt. Look a right twat now. Who cares? Right. Let's go have a look. Oh, fucking keys are in there. Oh, wait a minute. Yep. That's one. Yep. What's in that pocket? Nothing. People are making noise, care bad. I'm told to move on. Who? I'll just show you what I'm up against. Here's a garden. So did all this. It's all been cut down. Got to do all that. Do that in that corner. All this is soil. Do that later today. Get all this cut. This is all going to go in a container later. Get that cut. Get all that cut. That man will be spread out later on. Don't know when. Get all these weeds. Do these weeds later. When it's a bit more in there. Not so early in the morning. I've got to get this. See this, all this mound? This is all the soil. Soil from there, so I've got to get all this done. A load of rubbish here. So I've got to get this lot cut later on as well. Get that cut. Look at that soil in there. So I'll get a container at a later date. That's all growing back already. Some of these shrubs, I won't get rid of them anyway. But you've got to cut stuff to... Got to take that paint back with me today. Take all that paint back. In fact, I can get that loaded up, I suppose. Nothing's at the cornflakes, spider living there. I swept a bit of the veranda. It's all got to go. I did all that. Well, tidied it up. I'm going to leave this now over winter. So, I do that when... Oh, some fruit there. One must be off that tree. Keep this gate locked. Yeah, nice and locked. So I cut this, made an archway on it last time I come. So it's opened up a bit. What's important is that I get the weeds cut. Get the weeds cut at the back. So, this is all the rubbish. Eventually this would go. I was going to work on that eventually. Don't know what's happening. Complete utter shithole, isn't it? Do you know what? It can be really, really, really nice. It just needs tidying up. I mean, once I cut all these weeds later, you know, container, get rid of all this, leave the bricks. if it was all tied into it, it could be, I can see how it'd be. And then all this painted, nice, it'd be a lovely house. I mean, now I've come today, it don't seem as bad. I know it's a lot of work, but you remember last time I did the video, look at all this. So, the field at the back. Animal houses. So these would be like the pig houses, chicken houses. Pigs have probably been in here. Sheep, look. Troughs. Then you got that goes to the Kukurica house, sweet corn house. So I've got an animal house here. This is an animal house here. I mean, it's great if you've got a shot cutcher nudging me on. Another one. Another trough down there, look. Another one. And then, obviously in there is the wine cellar, Borjas. Got one Denevere, shot Denevere mushed. It just needs all new Chatona. But yeah, new drain pipes. Acacia for honey trees. They're lovely. Cut this lot down, You see the soil, the field is not in puha. Soil is so, look, just watch. See how soft puha field, shock hammock and the field. It's soil and sand. Look. Horse houses here. These are massive. Look. Another one, another double one. This could make a nice room as well here. Look at this. Look here. Yeah. Brilliant if you were doing like YouTube. Brilliant room here. I mean, I'll tell you something now. If I wanted to sell this house, looking at it now, I think I could sell it dead easy. Tidy up, skip, clean all this shit. I mean, these are good, look. They're good for like the garage. For like putting your cleaning stuff on, look. The proper cupboards. Well, I know they're made, but cooking, make it hot. No damp walls, solid. You know. Perfect slipper. Chai, you're a slipper. I think I'll put that in the car. Renovate that. I'm whispering because I don't want. I'm undercover, deep cover, in white clothes. Is my hair just gone down? Do I look okay now? Got another one there. Somebody's blown the fucking door off. Got a fridge in there with no wire. Now you know why I've got these white clothes on now. Yeah, I left the gates undone. I didn't shut the gates. Got to start cutting all this. Look at that jungle. That is my mission. My mission is to cut that lot. I'm not going to go into there yet. Well, I will. Yeah, nice big mushroom. Not sure if it's toxic. Got to cut all this. Yeah. Water. Cootvies. Leaving that shrub. Acacia. Honey trees. I told you they'd grow back, didn't I? Look. Sun's shining. Tell you what. I've come here today more positive, and I think if I sold it, I think I'd miss it. It's a lot of work. I've got to cut all this myself. Look at it. This is nothing. The field goes all the way down, doesn't it? Get as much as that cut down, get it tidied up. Start here first. Well, I might go down the back of the field first, which is quieter, away from the houses. So let's go back to the car. Then I've got all that animal asses. I'll get that cut later, then shut it all up. I don't know whether I ought to sell it really. I don't know whether I should just keep it. There's a lot of eggs everywhere, so there's a lot of wildlife living here. There's just like bits of metal everywhere. Right, let's get the machine out of the car. Here's the other animal house. Can't really see it very well. And then here, animal house. Concrete, rubbish, metal rubbish. Deophar. Walnut tree. Look, they're all over the floor, look. Look, walnuts. Here. Walnuts. Do you know how expensive walnuts are? They're expensive here. I think it's something like 5,000 foreign, or is it 2,000 a kilogram? It's so expensive, look. Walnut tree. Anyway, we'll cut off for a minute while I get sorted out. Try. Another water. Animal house. Drain pipes, plastic. Yeah. Might take them back to the other house. Well. Retro well. With a steering wheel. Like an old lorry steering wheel, that. Yeah, some nice plants coming through. Supposed to come through fucking spring, not now. Look, all over. Amazing, isn't it? Cut it back a few weeks ago. Everything's growing back again. Look, grapes. Fruit tree. My car. I don't know why. The machine keeps cutting out. The strimmer. Keep getting it on run. I don't know whether it's because it's too hot, it's too weak a machine, I don't know. Just keeps cutting out on me. So I'm going to try to let it cool down a little bit. It's got petrol. I don't know what's up with it. Oh. Oh, Jesus Christ. Too much. I tell you what, to finish this house is going to take me years. I'd be dead. I told you I'd be dead before I finish it. Well, my machine clearly isn't powerful enough. After about 15 minutes, 10 minutes working, just gets hot and packs up. Can't cope with it. You're not cut any of these. These are too thick. This needs cutting with a proper cat there. That's all I managed to do here. It needs a tractor. I need to get a tractor in here. All my acacia for visa. Okay, all my honey trees, acacia honey trees. All this is going to have to be done at another time. So I'm only managed to do all this. In fact, I'm not going to go walking in here. I will walk a little bit because I don't want to get it all over my clothes. It's like it sticks to you. It's got that sticky weed. But basically, I've cut this. All I've done. I've not even cut it down proper. Just kept getting hot, and I just can't keep doing it. It's not powerful enough. So it's all this. I'm not going to walk. I don't want to walk too far because I don't want it all over my clothes. It's getting all over my clothes. But I've got all that to do. Absolutely massive. So I was speaking to the neighbour this morning. She said there used to be all like what they call draught carriage, which is the old like just wire. What you used to have in like you do in England sometimes, wire fencing, when you use like the fir post or oslop off a fir or acacia fir. So there's no problem doing this. I don't think there's no problem with it. The neighbours seem to be alright now, but she said that that was the diva, that was the design. They used to have fencing in the fields here because everybody had a big garden. This is classed as a garden. I know it's massive, but that's how it used to be. And obviously, you see like this sweet corn in there, sweet corn over there. So that was the rent basically, because they don't like this woman here. She only wants this bit of land, fruit trees, silver, plum trees, cherry trees. She only wants that bit of land, so she rents the rest of the field off, like the size of mine. She rents it off for the farmer, so he can grow his wheat or sweet corn or whatever, boozer, wheat. So Kiado to a tractor ember, Garzed. So what I'm going to do is, looks like I've got to leave it. He did say that he can come and do it, but he says what I should have done is phoned him, told him when I was coming down here, and he would have done it in the morning for me. But he's got like what he pulls, got a tractor what pulls, it just fits through this gate here, and what he does, he pulls it, it's got like propellers and it cuts it. But you know, it's not been, I know this needs doing, but what he can't do, it needs a Fukosa like edge meter. Fukosa edge meter. So I need, like, I'm talking Hungarian as well. So I need to do my brush cutter 1 meter from the fencing, because the tractor can't, when it pulls the propeller to cut this down, it can't get too close to the fencing. See, so you'd have to do like 1 meter from the fencing, then got to get a brush cutter to cut the rest of it around the edges, which isn't a problem. You know, there's my little wildlife park. Hey, I think it's one big wildlife park, isn't it? I tell you what I did see this morning. A shoedisno, bit of nodgem nodge, like a mochka, ureg. No, not telling me ureg, but gone limit was it's had one yo ale, one shockave. So I seen a hedgehog in my animal house. So I've done this, so when it rains, it's going to rain tomorrow and all next week. So I've done that, that'll fill up with water. Some water in there for him. I've done that. Water run in there, fill it up. So he's got some water to drink. He's in here. He walked across there and went behind that wood that far. He went behind there. That's where, obviously that's where he hibernates. But he's massive, honestly. He's huge. I've not seen a hedgehog as big as that. Massive. But I've done this. This is here. Oh, yeah, look. What we call them. See? Try to think of it in Hungarian and try to think of it in English. It sends my brain crazy. Makes me feel really, really stupid because this is what I'm like. It sends my brain crazy. Look, you know what it is anyway. I just can't even think of it in Hungarian or English now because my head's just completely gone. Nice and soft. Would make nice palinka if there's plenty of them. That's what I'm saying. I'm not cutting any of the fruit trees down. Borox. I've got it in Hungarian, but I've not got it in English. But look here, you know what it is. You know what it is. It's not my fault. It's talking Hungarian and English. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm losing my plot. So animals can go in there at winter. I've got all these on my other horse stables at the back there. All my animal houses there. Walnut trees. Another honey tree. Another one of these trees. What are they called? Come on, please, let me get it to my head. I've got, cut this down. Another bit of pile there, here, for the birds. Birds to eat. Not get rid of that. So it's been a bit of a success, hasn't it? See, the builder used to be a builder years ago. Before the woman who I bought it off, before then, family from years and years and years ago, he was a builder. So it looks like he did that wall. Nice and solid. Needs a bit of work at the bottom. Get them all painted. I don't think I'm selling the house now. I think I just want to keep it because to me, I feel it's got so much potential because I can see a finishing product with the house. It's full of wildlife. There's birds all over. I've just seen a bird go into the gutter in there. The bird's just gone into that gutter in there. He might come back out. So somewhere in that roof, there's a bird nest. Absolutely full of wildlife here. You know, it's perfect for me. Shaded, nice trees, nice big garden. I mean, once it's all been tidied up, it'd be absolutely beautiful. It's such a nice place. I feel a bit different about it now. It's just so much going on, isn't there, with it? But I've cut it a lot down. It looks a bit tidy, doesn't it? It's not. I tell you what, it's not a 2-minute job. Really isn't. Not going to block that up. Let the birds go in it. Like all this needs to come out. This does. Take this off. Used to be like a gate on it, chicken run or whatever, or animals. Looks like a chicken run. That's knackered. You know, all just needs thrown away. Take this completely out. Get this concrete out. Can't do it without. I've got enough part rubbish here. I've done some more. Bit better. Oh, didn't shut the gate. Didn't shut the gate. I don't want to shut the gate proper because I don't know whether the hedgehog's been going in the back field. He might be going in the back field, you see. So I ought to block that really. Probably get a brick or something. But it's a bit neater, isn't it? Done a couple of places for the animals for over winter. So, and then they go in there. I don't think they need anything outside really because they've got here's the other gate. Obviously that needs welding up. That needs putting onto there. It needs to be a little bit higher, I think. They need to come off and be welded up higher. Get that done. My neighbour at the other house, you know, I think I might get him down here. And what I'm thinking, if I make a decision that I'm going to keep this house, which I'm seriously going to make a decision, tell me what you think. Tell me what you think I should do. You tell me, what do you think I should do? Keep it, do it up slowly, get it done. Eventually sell the other house. What do you think I should do? There's so much potential with this house for parking, finishing product, field. What do you think? Or do you think I should cut my losses? Cut my losses now and sell it. What do you think? What do you think I should do? I don't know what to do. Such a big place. It's a big place. I mean, obviously, I'd have all this neat. Leave them trees. The problem with acacia, honey trees, you can cut them right down. The problem with them, they grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. They're just non-stop growing. That's the problem with them. The roots go everywhere, so they just sprout up. So I mean, I think there probably there's only one tree there once, but now there's loads. I mean, some of these roots, I haven't done these. I've not bought the right really equipment what I need. But some of these, look at these roots. Look, they'll come out, but really need a spade and need more time. But leaving them anyway. But it would be nice, all this nice neat grass dug over, nice neat grass everywhere, get it all flat. It looks nice. Just clear the rubbish. Hopefully hedgehog's got some water. Gonna rain all next week, you'll have some water. So I mean, probably I bet there's plenty of snails for him to eat. These lovely big old walnut trees. You see how big they are, look. Still some hanging in the trees, look. Walnuts. Don't know whether, on the petrol, I need to get that put in. At least pretend everything's locked, eh? Pretend, yeah. Cut the weeds down, all that's got to go. There's my car. Is that nice bit of elder over there, bit of a forest? Got this going on over there. So, there we go, it is, what time is it? 4:15. Time just flies by, doesn't it? It's gone a bit cloudy now, not cold at all. It's 19.5 degrees now and it's 4:30. It's been lovely today. I've had all these clothes on because basically I thought I'd be cold this morning and I needed to cover myself up to protect myself. I mean, even with the plastic guard on, I took it off later on because the neighbour said I should take it off because you can't see when there's bricks and anything. And I put a complete hole into the thick plastic. So that's why it's so important. You know, that's not a real powerful one. You know, that was only 65,000 foreign, 64,000. The neighbour who's got a still, 400,000 foreign, so you're talking nearly £1,000, about 900 quid, 800, 900 pound. That's the difference. Now they're really industrial, bigger, heavier, but they don't overeat and you can keep doing your job. So you buy, you know, it is the same old story, innit? You know, you pay. What do you forgot what you say? You pay for quality, don't you? Basically, not always. But you get what you pay for, really. So I think that's what the word I want. It was, you know, it is worth it at the end of the day. So really, that's for that work you got to do there. You got to have an industrial one. But as it comes to the field at the back, to be completely honest with you, unless I'm at the arse, unless you're at the arse, but you know, the same old story. If I had dogs there, I couldn't be having a tractor going through all that land because I wouldn't know what to bleeding do with the dogs. So I'd need my own equipment. Can't keep paying people. They've had basically in the village, they've had like one of those village days celebrations. They've had all gypsy music on and all sorts. And well, I suppose they have to entertain, keep everybody happy, don't they? Can't be all one-sided. But I've got the front clear and I've got it tidier. Got water set up, water containers set up for all the I did some more, by the way. I don't think I videoed it. Put bricks in, so hopefully they'll fill up with water because we've got a week of rain coming, and there'll be plenty of water for the birds and whatever else. Nope, got my window down, haven't I? I'm really thirsty. Got nothing to drink anymore. A good 2 hours, 40 minutes to get back. So bloody starving. I've got one hot dog from this morning. I think I'll have to eat that. I could do with a can of Coke or something nice and fizzy. Then I'll have to stop at a petrol station. Yeah, you know, I just don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do with the arse. You know, it's such a shame because you know, like I've been there today. I spoke to the other neighbour. You know, there's so much wildlife going on there. You know, it makes you. You know, there were some deers in the backfield, in the sweet corn. You know, typical of the farmer though. The farmer lad who was with me at the time, he was going like, he was trying to scare the deers off because, you know, to them animals, they eat the crops, don't they? You know, there was a brown, it was brown, not green. There was a brown, probably because summer's over, praying mantis. He was on the veranda last time I went, so he's not died. I think he's looking for some food because it's still been nice weather. But I'm sure it's going to change. But then again, October, you've still got October, November, still can be nice weather. Might be raining next week or whatever. But it doesn't stop. There's going to be some nice days. Easily be in its 20s still. Bit of a football match going on here. If you're into football. I'm not, unfortunately. I'm not into football. Liked it as a kid, but I'm not into much, to be honest, at the minute. I like thinking about money, I do. Money. That's what I like to think about. I like to think that when I've dropped a bollock, which I feel I have dropped a bollock with this arse, maybe I should have thought about it a little bit more before just jumping in there. You know, I should have probably thought, you know, will the dogs be happy? I should have thought more into it before, you know, throwing my money at the arse. Yeah, I see potential with that arse, and you can probably see what I can see. A lovely bungalow, all painted the same, all done inside. More room for scope for later, for more rooms in the animal houses and everything. Plenty of room for parking, nice lights, water feature. You know, you can see that veranda all lit up at night with some nice lights, all the veranda done, all opened up, all painted white. You know, you can see it. You can see the potential there. But then again, you've got to see the potential. But then you've got to think, maybe I didn't think. Well, hold on a minute, Tiller. How much is all that going to cost? You know, plus the inside. You know, what's it going to cost for all that? You know, you've got to think that. You've got to think in the future as well. Is there going to be a return on the money? I mean, are we going to be able to sell the house in the future? Because the house is going to have to be sold in the future. So I think I've got to be sensible. I think I'm going to have to be sensible and think to myself, what's the best thing to do? Hard. All these acacia trees, all these, if you can see them with the camera, all these here, all honey trees, all acacia trees. Told you they spread like anything. I've got to just seriously think what's the best thing to do. I just really don't know. BMW is going really too slow for my liking. So, yeah, getting dark now. 7 o'clock, it'll be pitch black. It gets very dark here, you know, early. It's a bit weird. I don't know what our dog is getting in England at the minute, but at 7 o'clock tonight, it is now nearly 25 past 4. You can see it's getting darker now. You probably can see it with the camera, because this camera's not good at night time. It has got another thingy on it to change the settings, but then it makes the daytime. One's bicycle. Makes the daytime one's not very good. So I don't bother messing. Just realise, just try not to use it at night time really, unless I want to talk in the dark. You can't see me. Not that you want to see me. Yeah, I left these were working clothes what I had underneath, so I do the dogs with. So I've got to seriously think. I know what I want to do. I mean, the other house is nice. I've got the stalks at the other house. You know, I've got to seriously think what you know, what is the best thing to do. What do you think I should do? You know, bear in mind, I only know the neighbours. I don't really know the woman that well. I know Dave. I know the farmers a bit better because I spoke to them quite a few. But you know, it's a bit different. Like, I know everybody, but I've got to say the other place drives me absolutely. You know, it's driving me absolutely nuts. Really, it's driving me nuts. And the other thing I've got to think, what about the dogs? The dogs, are the dogs going to be happy at this place? You know, I know there's more room. But if I could do the other house and get a wall up so that they can go in the garden as well, I'm sure they'd be just as happy at this house. I just don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I've got to think. You know, and I want to do more car videos as well. You know, I want to buy another car and whatever. That's got nothing to do with that house. You know, that whether I've got that house or not. But I've got to know what I'm doing with the house, because there's an house sitting there. What do I do? Just let it. You know, this winter the heating ain't going to be on. I can't just let it rot and just fall down. There's money there. I've got to know what I'm doing with it. Either do I just leave it as it is, just stop doing work on it, call it a day, or do I just keep working on it, do bit at a time, bit at a time. But it comes down to the same old question. I didn't really buy that house for me. I bought it for my dogs. I don't know what to do. I've dropped a bollock, haven't I? I've dropped a bollock, haven't I? Anyway, I'm nearly back on the motorway. So like, subscribe. I'm sorry I've not been doing any videos and whatever. You know, things have been really down. I really have been, and when I say I've been down, I didn't even want to come down here today. You know, I left the house at 4 o'clock this morning. You know, so it's down like nearly 12 and a half hours now. So been a long day. Not really yet. Well, I've got another hot dog, but I'm thirsty. I'm going to have to stop at a petrol station to get a drink. And there's so many cameras on the motorway as well, so I've got to be careful about speeding as well. Don't want no tickets. So I'll leave it on that note. Let you nearly back on the motorway. Love to everybody, subscribers and everybody around the world. Basically, I've got to, if I keep the ass of what I'm doing, I've got to get a stronger machine, answer, because that one can't cope after 15 minutes. It's done. It's too hot. It's boiling hot. Clearly the engine, it's probably okay for a little bit of a garden, but what's the point in getting one of them for a little garden? You may as well just get a lawnmower, like the other house. I wouldn't use that in that house. I've left it there. I've got an electric lawnmower. I won't bother with petrol. It's too much of a pain in the arse. Some people like him. I'd rather just get my extension cable out. I know it's a bit more harder work when you've got cables, but we've done it for years in England, didn't we? I mean, you get electric ones now. Even then you can get electric, but you've got to have a powerful machine. You've got to spend about I think you've got to spend at least £600 minimum for that land. Just can't cope with it. Too hot. 15 minutes, and it needs to cool down for another 20 minutes. Right, like, subscribe, see you all later. Nearly on the motorway anyway. Been hot today. This is like a solid rock, look. Look. Probably get food poisoning. I bet it's boiling in the car today. I bet it was like 30 degrees in the car. It's been about 24 degrees, 25 degrees. Don't last long though. About 3 or 4 hours and that's it. It starts to cool off because the sun's very low now. I mean, I've got some food when I've got some Chinese pork steaks. Do it ourselves. Girlfriend does it. I've got the actual powder from England. Before Brexit, when I could order things from England, no tax duty, nothing. Didn't hardly have to pay much. Now look, can't order nothing no more. It costs a fortune. later. Bye. Yeah, I've just stopped for a coffee. It is now nearly 5 o'clock. Just stopped for a little latte. Got myself a small Coke because I said I was thirsty dinner. Nobody was in the garage when I got there. There's a guy in there, and just a gal who was cleaning not coffee machine, cleaning something, but I don't know what it was she was cleaning. Guy was on his phone. This, I'm just going to tell you how ignorant. He's on his phone. So I got myself a cola, puts my cola down, and that says that in Hungarian, Kere Kalakave latte. So I got myself a latte. Never said a word. Told him I want to take away Elviteka Kave, so take away. Goes to the machine, doing the machine. I've done the card now. I'm doing the card wires at the machine. So the receipts come out. He's at the machine, still on his phone, waiting for the machine to do the coffee. He puts the coffee on the other side, so I'm still waiting for the receipt. Gives me the receipt. I said, thank you very much. He never said a word and didn't take his eyes off his phone. And then he walks round, goes near the window. No, this is all no bullshit. Glancing a little bit at my car. Comes back on his phone. I just got my coffee and left. Do you know what? They're so fucking ignorant. Megy fogom Angliába. Itt magyar ember semmi benzinkút, mol, nem beszél semmi. Sok nézze, bazd meg telefon. I tessék a cola, kell a latte, itt csinál a latte a gép, nem beszél semmi. I beszél elvitek a kávé, takeaway. In Embesso Shemi, I marad for the block, the receipt. Tashake the receipt, puts the kave on the marshik hay. A shater, a bessel kussi sapen, no, I said kussim sapen. In Embesso Shemi, neza bosmeg telephone. Nembessel, sia, kussi, Nembesso Shemi. It is ein problem, it's ein problem. Ez nem egyforma Angliába, semmi egyforma. Nem semmi nem egyforma. It's just not the same in England. A csúnya. It's just semmi nem egyforma to Angliába, semmi nem egyforma. Anyway, see you later. One good thing come out of that though. Coffee is really nice. It's a lovely creamy latte, but there was some cream milk, really thick milk, and I put some of that in it. I think that's just done it good. That is beautiful. That is spot on. So nice that is. Do you know what? I've got to get myself one of those cameras, one of those dead mini little cameras to put on my clothes. Because here they don't like you doing videoing, you know. You know, like sometimes when you go to some of these restaurants, some are alright and some of them aren't. I need to get a camera here. You've got to see some of these Hungarians carry on. How polite I am and how they carry on. Absolutely terrible. You know what it is? Probably jealous because I'm good looking. Because I'm a handsome, grey-haired silver fox. That's probably what it is. Because I'm a handsome silver fox. You all want to be like me. What else can it be? God knows. Oh, it's nice, that is. I did ask for a big one. He still gave me a little one. He probably charged me for a big one. Twat.